there's two things I want to talk about for sure, and I'm going to say them now so I don't forget, right? Because I'm not going to do that. But so I want to hear about the vineyard, all right? And then one of the most common questions is like, all right, well, like, man, if they go to that school, they're gonna they won't be able to play on the sports teams or all the extracurricular stuff, right? So we're gonna dive into that as well. So, but the vineyard, talk to me a little bit about the vineyard.
So our vineyard program is, we've said before, it's an active wait list, but that's kind of bit me in the buns because we haven't had any campus movement this year. So in the past, you have a class of about 20 kids and you'll say, okay, we'll have 2 or 3 that are on the wait list. We ask them to invest in the curriculum and they're using our lesson plans. Then they have ability to come to things like chapel and be a part of a worship team if they wanted to, or come to our VO, which is our elective program, those classes, come to our field trips. They're in the community. They're just all at home because there's not a classroom seat. So what we did this year is we had one of our teachers take on being a vineyard director. So she's just a director of the program. They're cultivating their own Facebook page. They have their own meetups for schoolwork. In fact, I think they're at a local coffee shop right now. She's that second set of eyes, helping talk moms down off the ledge if they need it, just supporting them and offering, some friendship opportunities. Our hope and goal is to actually move her out of the classroom. She would be full-time vineyard next year where she can truly be dedicated, make sure that these lesson plans really are dialed in and make sense for the at-home setting, treating the parents like these, co-educators and speaking life and strength into them, knowing the kids, really just investing in what this program looks like on a national model if we can. If people want to, move away and still use our program, which we've seen twice now, it's great. What a gift. We just want to be able to be a resource for them. So, vineyard is one very natural way we can expand and we just want to steward it well. Yeah. So we're just rocking and rolling with that.
Absolutely. I mean, all growth has to be managed to a certain degree, and it's, and to be able to keep the quality, to manage those expectations. One of the worst things you can do is lose the quality of what you're doing because you grew too fast, right? Yeah. So, I totally respect that. Talk to me a little bit about the sports and other extracurricular. So, because one of the cool things is as schools like this, as programs like this are popping up, well, guess what? Some sports programs are also starting to pop up as well to support those, even though the ones that were already intact can still serve those students, right? Talk to me a little bit about the biggest questions you get with sports. I'm sure you get them all the time.
I do. I get them all the time. I have a huge passion for sports. I really, honestly, I think my passion is more like I want homeschoolers to have the same access to the same opportunities, especially like you mentioned, you were talking about Ethan being able to practice baseball at 10 a.m. What a luxury and a gift that it's not at his exhausted part of his day where he's just run down. So I have a huge passion for it. I'm trying not to run after everything all the time, but I really want to. But I was just in a meeting last week with an athletic director that was talking about what could it look like to offer sports, not just to Vine, but beyond that to the homeschooling community. Because I would say the biggest barrier we see, mostly with public schools, is that you can play for the school you're zoned for. That's the law. But if you don't have a relationship with the coaches, or let's say 120 people try out and they're going to take 30, what are the odds?
And
right?
do they? A lot of times they might recruit from the school campus first before they.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's about relationship with the school and the dynamic, and so they just not get picked last. But sometimes that seems to be the essence.
Okay.
So if we're all, from different backgrounds and doing different things, then it can just be an organic team of people who are really interested in this. And that's really what we're exploring, being like kind of that banner under the name of Vine, that homeschoolers can come and you have this team dynamic and you can practice, you can get better at the sports you want to excel at and go forward from there.
There's Ethan plays for the Knights Academy team and Jason Anderegg heads that up. He does a phenomenal job, and quite honestly, as an 8th grader, he got to get a lot of varsity reps last year, which was unbelievable, and it was so important for his development. And Anderegg is a guy that played Division I baseball and professional baseball, and a lot of your middle school coaches didn't have that experience. That was my biggest thing is, he needs to be learning from somebody that did it at an extremely high level, know? So that's, but those, our summer program is the Midland program. So I would encourage the guys from Midland, why don't you have an academy team? You know what I mean? Let's do this. Because we already have all the swag and the gear, but we're very happy with the Knights and those, but, I would encourage all the cheer squads, all the baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, even football. Yeah. They could be having the same type of academy programs because it's just an extension of what you're already doing,
exactly.
Right? And you have facilities in place and coaches that usually need more. So it's ripe for the picking, right? What do you think, Ree?
The time is right. It's only going to get bigger. The options for the kids wanting to come into those sports and those programs, it's just going to grow. I mean, just as much as the school's growing, the options to have those available to those students is going to grow over and over and over. So, opportunity, sports people.
Yeah. And a lot of questions is, where do they practice? They don't have any fields. Well, they practice when the kids are in school on the school fields. And Ethan even they get to work out at Belmont at Rose Park, and he's getting to practice on college campuses and go to JUCOs and play. I mean, the experience is unparalleled. It truly is. So from an athletic standpoint, I feel like we even got an upgrade there.
Yeah.
We got an upgrade on the education, the campus, and the sports even up to this point, right? So it's just been a beautiful experience for us.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I really do feel like sports is a way we can just continue to serve more homeschoolers because, the campuses, we only want to get so big. We don't want to dilute what the community is offering and the culture there. But sports is like, come one, come all. Come be interested in this and make a friend organically that's going to matter. And it doesn't matter to me. Some parents are really passionate about being home all 5 days a week or making sure they have that, core work that they want to do at home their way. That's great. Some of them, especially professional education background, I feel like they have a real passion point for it. I care more that their kid can come and make friends and have the true meaning of community and that we can uphold that standard we want to. We have them sign a code of conduct. That stuff matters. Now you're entering into like a common playing field of expectation with parents, right? Seeing eye to eye. And we all want our kids to have good sportsmanship. We all want our kids to excel at what they're good at and move their body, right? We do have a lot more downtime. So let's be intentional about the way we move our body. But sports just feels like such a natural extension of what we want to do while we support the community with open arms. I'm very excited about the future of it.
You said something that made me think the way that the focus is community first and then the academics, in the public school system, I feel like that's where they started, but everyone got so far into standardized test. What does this person test? And you lost the community. So I think it's such a brilliant thing to focus on community. And then if you have good structure and community, then these kids will probably want to do better at their academics and their sports and their other things. So again, just a big shout out for that because it makes a difference.
Absolutely. And then I gotta shout out your family. You got four kids. You're a musician's wife.
I am.
All right. So needless to say, taking on something like this, it's a household project.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted just to give you a moment to recognize those at home that help bring this home, to make this happen. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. My husband actually was a touring musician when we met in high school. And so he actually just stepped off the road. He was playing with Phil Wickham for about 10 years.
Wow.
Stepped off the road when the summer we started Vine. He was like, I'm going to do it temporarily. And now he hasn't gone back. But he's, primarily a songwriter, which is funny because, we're both so entrepreneurial. He's a youngest, I'm a youngest. We're very, there's a lot of mess there that happens. We're not that type A, like one size fits all personality by any means, but there's so much opportunity for our kids to learn what it looks like to be self-motivated and self-started because of it. And yeah, we have 4 little ones. My youngest is in 1st grade this year. He's 6 years old. And then we have 3 girls, 2 that are in 4th grade and 1 that's in 7th grade. And it has been a full community effort. It's so funny. Obviously, my oldest still thinks this is cool that I do this job. I don't know if that will persist, but that's where she's at now. I have to watch pretty carefully about which kids of mine rule the roost on campus. Think that they can make all the rules and go into the staff room and have snacks. I'm like, okay, not right now. And that's part of the character training part too. But they really do love it. And if I wasn't reaping the benefit of it at the personal level, of course, I don't think I could keep doing it. Right. It's not just a job to me. It's out of the overflow of our heart. And so you want it to be good at every level for everyone. One of my favorite things, my husband is such a support person. He is like hands and feet support. His love language is acts of service. And one of the things he did to get our campus going was he was single-handedly setting up and tearing down our campus every single week for the first 3 years.
Wow.
We got him some help here and there aligned, but that's just the way that he was going to love what we were doing and saying yes to it beside us. So I'm grateful he's out from under that now because obviously it's not his primary job. It was just, hey, this is what needs to be done and we want to do it. We want to do it well. We want to respect our church partners. But yes, it's absolutely a full family event. We all really believe in what we're doing, which helps.